Alright, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Tomboy Official. Sorry for the city car alarm across the street. Let us see if we get any sirens in this episode. It's almost becoming a game for me. It's like whenever I hit record, like, ooh, are there gonna be sirens or not? But yeah, honestly, I'm happy to not have to be like down the street in my car. I'm comfortably indoors because it's freaking cold nowadays, guys. So I'm not going to be going snowboarding this weekend because the resort still hasn't announced yet if they're going to be open. They were supposed to open today. Then they postponed and said they were going to open on the 11th. And then they said, sorry, we have a new opening day, but we don't know exactly what yet. So people don't know if they're going to open on the 11th or open on Saturday or open this weekend at all. And it's Veterans Day weekend. And so I figured, let me just make plans with my friends instead of going all solo up in the mountains. And I can do that anytime between now and April pretty much. Once they open, but it's like, even if they do open Saturday, I was going to go up Sunday and Monday, but actually get there Saturday night. I was like, let me just cancel my plans to do that. As much as I want to go, it's like, I don't want the hassle of not knowing, I was like, I can wait until Friday night if I really want to go up Friday after work and stay up there all next weekend if I felt up to it. I mean, I can pretty much go whenever I feel like it now, so it's not really an issue once they open. And especially since I'm not working Mondays anymore, that kind of gives me a lot more flexibility, and at least to be able to have a weekday when I can go up, because I actually prefer going up on weekdays. You guys, honestly, between now and April, I'm just going to be talking incessantly about snowboarding and going to the mountains. And I don't know. It's just, living in LA or just Southern California in general, we don't get a lot of shifts in the weather. So it's like, okay, is it going to be in the 80s today or is it going to be in the 70s today? And it's pretty much like that almost all year long. Then fall hits, and then snowboard season starts. And even in Southern California, when you're not in the mountains, it's usually, it's cold in the shade, and it's cold when the sun's not shining. But otherwise, it's warm, it's pretty warm. We just don't get a lot of daylight. I don't like that. But anyways, oh, I forgot to even check. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I didn't really actually slip into the actual story, but I think the last thing I recorded on was about with my queer dating with gender and genitalia. I think I posted that one. I don't know, there's just a lot of positivity I've been experiencing lately, with just a lot of experiences of freedom. Just noticing how, yes, I mean, I know there's definitely discrimination and prejudice and homophobia, and like, I'm not even gonna pretend like it doesn't exist, but I also like, that I do have the freedom to kind of present and express myself however the heck I please, and I don't really have a whole lot of rules to really have to go by, so that's been pretty nice. So I don't really know. I mean, like, when it comes to dating in general, like, I'm actually happy with the way that I date. Like, I'm kind of more on the end of like casual dating and I'm not really trying to reproduce. Um, I like meeting a lot of people. Like, not like so many people that I don't have time to like catch up with them, but I was recently catching up with a pastor friend of mine, and that was kind of the same kind of sentiment, like um he was kind of mentioning, he was like, yeah, I like the way how you stay in touch with people, and I had some friends mention to me a while back that I know a lot of people. I've had quite a few people tell me that, so I'm just gonna take it as truth, I guess. But I honestly do spend a lot of time catching up with people, so I would hope that I have a lot of people in my life, because I've always kind of spent a lot of time and energy, interacting with others, and I like it. I mean, I enjoy that. But I don't feel like I do it to try to like not have like depth in relationships, or to kind of like, I know people because I'm always like leaving, or running around like trying to deceive people in some way or something. Like, it's not really like that. Like, I know people, I like to get along well with people, I like to involve people in my life and do things that we have in common, that we enjoy doing together, and have a lot of activities buddies, and do a lot of different activities, and hang out and stuff, and I have a good time. I have fun. I enjoy myself, I'm not like too I don't know, maybe I do get my feelings hurt easily, or like get a little easily irritated with people. But I think it's just, when I'm not in a good headspace, it just kind of trickles into everything else. I don't think it's necessarily the people that I keep company with. I don't think it's them. I think it's me a lot of the time, but sometimes it is them too. Like, it's not always me, but overall, I don't think I know anybody who is making more problems, like making extra problems in my life. Like, the only people I really knew were those housemates, and now that that's not an issue, I don't even care anymore. So but yeah, like I don't really mind not being like not shacking up with somebody, or not being dating anybody right now. I don't remember the last date I actually went on in person with a brand new person. It's been a really long time. But I don't know. I kind of haven't really felt like meeting any new people. Like, it's hard enough for me lately trying to like reconnect with a bunch of people in LA, because I hadn't really been able to come to LA too much for like a couple years. So I feel like I really did lose contact with a lot of people that I actually wanted to be in touch with and had good relationships with. It just so happened that, distance, we were the kind of people who saw each other in person. And so I'm not even talking dating, just social circles. Like, as social circles where I would see them probably almost every weekend, because I was like involved with church stuff or whatever. But it was like I would see them every weekend, or like Friday and Saturday every weekend for like probably 2-3 years or so. And like, you get to know people really well, even if it's like a couple hours, a couple days on weekends, or like whatever. Like, but I noticed, we weren't like online or texting and stuff like that, so we didn't really like catch up too much. It was more like, okay, we see each other in person. But I don't think I'm really gonna rehash a lot of that and like go back and like try to reconnect with everybody like routinely like that. But because I plan to go snowboarding, I'll probably be closer to the neighborhoods where those people are, probably about within a 45-minute driving distance. So yeah. I So I'm kind of looking at a topic that I don't know if I really want to talk about. I wrote down all these topics, and I'm like, I don't really know, if I really want to talk about it. That's why I'm kind of stalling. I'm kind of thinking about it. Well, I guess. So okay, I'll go there. It's not a big deal. I don't know. Right now, I'm not really in the mood to talk about anything like too intense and like negative. So, I kind of want to talk about labels. Not too much on the educational end of labels, but kind of like, what it's like dating people as a person who is kind of slightly on the androgynous end of things. Like what it's like dating people based on maybe their gender or their sexuality. So I would say the way I probably meet the most people, brand new people, probably through dating apps. Second to dating apps is probably a little bit out in the wild. Like when I'm hanging out with people, I'm not only hanging out individually with them all the time. Like sometimes I'm hanging out with them. Sometimes I'm hanging out with them and they'll bring like a friend. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're going to bring a friend, so I'm going to like flirt with their friend or whatever. Like I'm not really like that, but I'm friendly. And, if somebody wants to exchange numbers, or if they, if the time is really good and, it's not uncommon to, exchange some kind of contact information or start to want to make plans again. And I would say the easiest way to do that is to kind of not jump on it right away, like as like a jump on it right away, like a desperation thing. But Ashley Gavin mentioned something very important, like don't play games. But then it was funny because like Elena Joy was saying, yeah, it's fun to play games. Games can work, but yeah, I don't really know about playing games. I think when it comes to making plans with people that you first meet, it really does kind of boil down to probably getting in touch within that week and trying to make plans for like the following week or maybe 2 weeks out. But I feel like if you wait longer, unless that person is normally hanging out with the friend or friend group who introduced you guys, it's probably not going to be very likely that you're going to see one another. Because there is kind of like a small window of like when the momentum is still there. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't know, this isn't the same thing, but it's kind of like almost like after, when you meet somebody, after you meet up with somebody you already know, you're more likely to kind of still be contacting them, right? So it's like, say that you have a friend that, you know, you guys didn't really talk for a while, and then you meet up with each other. You're just like, oh man, it's been a bit, like, but I'm gonna be in town, you know, and you hit them up and you meet up, you make plans, you start, you know, making times when you're gonna meet, and then you find a time that you can coordinate around, and you end up meeting. Like, after you meet that person, you're probably still gonna talk to them. Like, you're not just gonna meet them after not seeing them for maybe like 6 months or something. You're not just gonna like meet them for coffee and catch up or whatever, and then just like never talk again for another like 6 months. Like, you're likely gonna keep talking, and if you keep talking and keep making plans, then you're gonna keep kind of in each other's lives. But if you don't keep making plans, if you don't keep talking, you're likely not going to see each other soon, and you're going to fall back into the habit of being out of touch because you've already been out of touch for like 6 months. And that's kind of how I notice things work, like socially. Like, with some people, it's never too late to jump back in. I have some friends that, you know, I don't talk to them for like months sometimes, and all of a sudden we're like, hey, let's hang. You know, it's like, I've had some friends I've known, like childhood friends, where it's like, you know, I haven't talked to them for like even a couple years, and then you're just like, oh, hey, let's hang. You know, it's like, it's not really a big deal with some people, especially if you grew up together and we're talking all the time, and then you go through these periods where you just don't talk for long periods. But I've noticed with like brand new people, like when you meet them out in the wild, it's kind of different to meet people out in public. And then meeting people kind of through an app or through like, you know, I feel like that's a little more intentional. I mean, some people, it's not uncommon that people will be on the apps and they'll be like, yeah, I'm on a dating app. But then, like, they're not trying to date, or they're just trying to meet people, or they're just trying to hang out. And sometimes it's not really clear what's going on. There can be a lot of assumptions or misunderstandings if the communication isn't too clear. Like, I can't tell you how many people I've met on dating apps that are like, you know, they're there for friendships or whatever, and, you know, you can talk as like friends. You meet and you become friends and you can socialize and it's fun. But I don't know, sometimes it's like, you know, there can be a little maybe some like, yeah, like, there can be some miscommunication, because I think just being on a dating app in general is kind of assuming. Like, if you want to be just meeting people, I mean, there are other places to meet people that aren't on a dating app. But also, I mean, I guess if you want a larger queer population, that's one way to do it. And then, you know, people have their own profiles and they can put, you know, that they're only interested in friends or something. That's not something that's uncommon to see. I've seen a lot of profiles that are just like, oh, just friends only or whatever. And that's common. When it comes to the gender and sexuality aspect of dating people. Like, so if it's like someone you met kind of, I guess if you say in the wild, like through a friend or just however you meet people. I mean, I met somebody really cool. We weren't we weren't dating. I was kind of almost hoping that we were gonna maybe date, but I wasn't sure about their situation, their sexuality in general. But I met this Uber driver once, and she invited me to this social function. It was like a social kind of community function, like cultural. It was kind of, excuse me, it was kind of like her religion, like spiritual, but also, I really had fun. I liked hanging out with her. We would hang out. We'd go out and like get meals and stuff, and we vibe. But I thought about hitting her up. I'll probably hit her up. But I don't know. We met, and we met through Uber, honestly, because she gave me some flyer to her thing. Like, she wasn't trying to convert me or anything. She was just really pumped up about her like spiritual path, and I was enjoying talking to her. Like, I was like, we had a really nice, pretty deep conversation about spirituality of some form. I don't remember what it was. And her culture is very very diverse and very like a broad range of thinking and accepting of like all different types of people and higher powers, and it was really appealing to me. And so I went, and I was really kind of like, I don't know, just her energy was great, and the things she does, like she kind of had like a lot of spiritual and self-care practices, and I know she had a lot going on in her life, but and then the pandemic hit and we kind of just fell out of contact. I think she hit me up once or twice. I want to talk to her again, but yeah, she was really dope. Like, she was really cool, but I didn't know, like, when she first sent that invite, I was like, oh, maybe she's gay, like, maybe she's just like, so I was kind of like, all right, like, let's see where this goes, and she sent the invite, and I went to the thing. I can't remember if she gave me her number. She might have. I think she did, because I think I texted her, like, or called her, like, when I got to the place, and she was, like, volunteering by picking up other people who needed rides. And so I got there, and I ended up meeting one of her friends, and we were talking for a while, and it was basically, like, music, food, and they kind of talked about a little, it was just like a celebration, I think, of the birthday of the deity or prophet or something. Some of the kids had made some poster boards with like some of the stuff that they loved, and it was just very like positive. Of course, when you have humans in like any situation, it's going to be coming with a lot of human baggage. It didn't specifically. That event didn't. The only thing I remember is that it was running a little bit late, and so I didn't really get to stay too long. Like, I think the food was gonna come at a certain time, and the music, so I think I only got to stay for one or two songs, or maybe there was like a big song at the beginning, communal song of some kind. I think I remember everyone standing around the outside of the room holding hands, singing a song. And then we ate. Guests were first. We ate. It was like potluck. And then they started singing. And it was supposed to be like a concert, but you could like sing along. I don't think there was going to be like a preaching type of religious service thing. It was like just very casual, very cool. I really enjoyed myself. It was pretty chill. And you know, I liked hanging out with her. We hung out a lot. We hung out, we ate, we go eating a lot, and like I can't remember if we went hiking. Probably. I mean, I'm always going hiking, so it's hard for me to really pinpoint who I haven't hiked with. But I remember she worked out a lot, and you know, I know where she lives. And well, I don't know if she still lives there, but I think she knew where I lived too. Like we were just pretty open. Like we had a pretty open communication from the get-go. But I think she had like an ex-husband or something, and like I don't know, I don't remember, but there was a lot about her that I was really like attracted to. But you know, once I started realizing that she wasn't interested in women and that we had like a friendship. I mean, I knew we had a friendship. I wasn't like pushing it, but once I kind of realized there probably wasn't going to be any route more than the friendship, I was kind of like bummer, you know. But I mean, I liked her. She was cool, you know. Like she was really cool. Like she was somebody I met that was like really cool. And we were in contact for a pretty long time. And yeah, I'll probably hit her up, but not until I'm gonna be like local in San Diego. But I found that to be a pretty fun experience. Meeting someone just casually like that. But I think really the follow up, if I wouldn't have gone to that event, I don't think we would have stayed in touch. We might have had some common ground, but it might be a little, I don't know, like I enjoyed just kind of how welcoming and friendly she was and everything. Because I'm kind of that way too. So it was kind of like, I really liked it. Because like, usually like when I meet people and I'm like, yeah, let's do this thing. And like, I'm pretty serious about it. But I kind of take it with a grain of salt. I know a lot of people, by the time date XYZ comes around, you know, a lot of times it's very common that people won't want to do what it was that everyone was so pumped up on. They just don't want to do it anymore, and that's very common. And so, yeah, I'm glad that I was able to follow up with her and stay in touch for so long. I feel like we were talking for like a year, but I don't really know. Like, I'd have to like see, but I don't really remember specifically. And yeah, I would say that gender wise, I mean, I normally meet women. A lot of the females I meet aren't like always queer women. There's a lot of straight women out there. And as far as the straight female friends I have, I don't really find them to be like inappropriate or anything. I don't I don't really know. Like, I'm not too Like, I don't know. I'm not too, like, lately, I'm not too, like, mm, too likely to meet new people just because, it's gotta be convenient. And where I'm living right now, I'm not trying to stay living here, even though it's nice. Like, I kind of just want to get back to the life I had in the other city, but just minus the roommates. So, and switching up the job too. So basically, that's basically what I'm working towards right now. I'm almost there. I mean, the only thing really slowing me down is just that I kind of don't speed through like I could with the class and everything. And haven't tested out yet for the certificate, and haven't really gotten to a place where I feel like I could comfortably interview and start to try to get hired for a job yet. Like, I am taking my time. There's definitely some fear involved, some like hesitation involved. It's a lot of change for me, but it's I'm working through it more lately. It just kind of kicked in, like, my work is kind of motivating me to well, they're not telling me anything, but the more I learn about what might be upcoming, about my job being less and less remote, and all the changes they're making with the paperwork and all these policies and stuff, I'm getting more and more kind of like over it. So, and just the fact that, like, if we do lose our remote status and do have to start driving around to our clients, I am definitely not going to be able to commute from LA to San Diego like multiple times a week. That's not going to happen. And so I definitely either have to move back to San Diego, or, definitely quit my job and just have a gap in employment until I find a new job, or just finish my class and get a new job. But I don't want that pressure. But that is kind of like something I don't want to have like upon me. Like, I don't want that to be like, okay, in 2 weeks all these changes are gonna happen, and then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, in 2 weeks I have to like get done with this class and like find a job. Like, I don't want that pressure on me. But I mean, it's one thing to be like interviewing and try to find something in 2 weeks. It's another thing to not even be done with the class yet. And so I think that would be too much stress for me. Because if they do make it so I have to move locally, I'm definitely going to have to move. And I do want to move. I just don't want to move without the money. Because I don't want roommates or housemates at all. Like, oh my gosh, there's nothing at this point that sounds appealing about that. But yeah, that's mostly kind of why I haven't really been being too social or dating locally. It's just because of that, because of the not wanting to get too comfortable, or not wanting to meet somebody and then move, and not even really wanting to like fool around and do temporary stuff. Like, I'm studying a lot. I'm building up my other streams of income. I'm pretty busy, so it is kind of hard to even think about wanting to, find, any kind of partner, or, I do socialize. I just wait till I, have plans. I'm not just making plans like all the time like I was before. But, I'm kind of, in a way, enjoying the slower pace. But it is kind of interesting, thinking about dating. Even when I'm not really actively dating, it is kind of something that's on my mind. Like, not necessarily like romantic dating necessarily, but just even like meeting people, that really is like a big part of my life. I'm noticing, especially since I haven't really been doing it for a while. It really is a part of my life to just meet new people. And I mean, I do it through work too. It's like, maybe that's one of the appeals of why I got into this field, is just because I'm, talking to people all day and interacting with people. I really do spend a lot of energy, engaging with other people. I don't feel like it's to ignore myself either, because I definitely don't ignore myself. But yeah, I just find it just kind of interesting, just meeting people. Like, you never really know what their sexuality is unless they kind of tell you. We kind of like deduce things, but I mean, there are plenty of people who were like married that are like not straight, you know what I mean, or who have kids that aren't straight, like it's not necessarily that. As far as genders of people, I really think I meet more females, and it's probably because I wouldn't say most of my social circles are females, but a lot of the guys I hang out with don't really have like guy crews like that. At least not ones that they've introduced me to. Like, I think I'm the one with a guy crew. They don't all like know each other necessarily, but I've definitely hung out with groups of guys, a couple guys. Like, I know my childhood bestie just had a baby shower, and his you know I missed the baby shower for my own reasons. Nothing against him, just for my own reasons. And I was looking at the pictures because I asked for pictures. I'm like, sorry I couldn't make it, but yeah, do you have pictures? And so I went and saw the pictures, and I was like, yeah, it was just him and probably like four of my guy friends. These are all straight guys. But yeah, there's like 5 of them. I used to hang out with them all like pretty regularly. But yeah, definitely it's easy for me to befriend guys. I don't think I have guys like talking to me trying to like be interested. I don't know. I mean, I think guys are comfortable talking to me. I hope they're cool with me messaging them and stuff. Like, it's just kind of funny. Like, like, I don't know. One thing that this is something that I'm just thinking about. I'm not worried about it, but it's something that I wonder. Is if guys, like, I have straight friends that I would say they're allies, but I have straight friends, and sometimes I wonder if those straight guy friends, when they get girlfriends, is there anything weird about me texting them? Because I don't really think about it, but it's like, I have guy friends that I'll text them past midnight sometimes. Like, if I know people aren't working and like whatever, I'll text them. But I don't know if I have guy straight friends that have any girlfriends that are like worried about me. I mean, I don't think they should be worried about me. There's like nothing to worry about. I'm not looking at their men. I'm not trying to like do anything with their boyfriends or fiancés or husbands or anything. But I think maybe I just treat guys like other guys kind of treat guys like their guy friends. Like, I don't really think about, oh, they have like a woman that might be a little like, why is this chick texting you at like midnight, why is this chick like texting you like pictures and like not of me, but like, just like I don't know, like I treat my guy friends kind of the same way when they're dating as I did when they were single, and I'm not like, I don't tease guys in front of their girlfriends. I don't like get nosy, nothing. I'm not like that. But I just I don't know, I wonder if it's like weird. And I don't think it is. I don't think it's weird. I don't think I cross boundaries or I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think there's anything I do that's like scandalous or like anything like that. Like every now and then I want to make sure I'm not like being obnoxious and annoying people, but like I don't really say anything to my guy friends that I don't think their girlfriends would want to know. I just don't, sometimes I just don't want to, like, depending on the girlfriend, if we're like friends or not. Because sometimes we're friends and sometimes we're like not. Not that we're not friends, but like sometimes we aren't like in a social circle together. They just like happen to be like the girlfriend of my guy friend. And so yeah, the kind of etiquette there can be a little maybe different. But yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of gender wise. When it comes to like hetero people, like that's the only thing that kind of comes up for me, unless it's like a straight trans person that is different. And I think the only trans people I've dated are through apps. I did meet someone who's trans that I thought was an attractive person, but when I started inviting them out, it was kind of hard to meet up because they weren't really a very timely person, and we didn't really I don't know, I think it was hard for me to just like send invites because we didn't really, not that we didn't vibe, but we just weren't too we weren't really compatible. And I kind of saw the type of people that they were interested in and noticed that like I wasn't in that category. And also at the time when I met them, I confirmed that they weren't really even interested in really trying to meet people and date and stuff like that. So pretty much everything I learned pretty early, within the first 3 times of seeing this person, that it just wasn't really gonna be something that was gonna work like that. But we hit it off. Like we got in touch and we exchanged numbers, and I haven't really invited them out to anything lately, and haven't really seen them in a really long time. But yeah, like I don't really tend to meet a lot of trans people. Just unless it's through dating apps, I don't tend to just like go and meet a lot of trans people. Like, not for any reason that I don't want to, just because I just don't, it's not like a huge population of people. And even so, I'm also working remotely, so I'm not getting out as much all the time. And the part of the city where I'm staying is not like the most diverse city as far as LGBTQ like queer populations of people. So, I don't know, this topic was really all over the place. I didn't really have that much to directly say, but I'm getting kind of tired. Honestly, I'm getting sleepy. I didn't notice it was so late. It's like 10:41. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think if there's any, like, direct experiences. I don't really think there are. I guess this is kind of, it is a different topic, though, saying, like, when meeting people, just paying attention to the momentum for people who are, wanting to meet people. Usually that's what the issue is like, once you meet somebody, just trying to make sure you can hang out again, and keep making plans. Because once one person starts, giving permission to not meet, not that you have to, meet each other, but I'm just saying, like, once you start making plans, once one person starts being less and less consistent, it gets harder and harder to keep things consistent. Like, especially if you're the one who stopped being consistent, but you were the one who was normally planning, then it's like, okay, now there's nobody planning, and things are a little inconsistent. So it's like, you kind of want to keep up that consistency. It could kind of help to have, like, something in common that you do. Like, I had some friends, this isn't, like, a gay thing, but I mean, like, I had some friends that we would meet up on Wednesdays, every Wednesday or every other Wednesday, to do sports during the pandemic. And so, we always met, pretty much always, and it could be something different at any time, but we pretty much always met. So that was good. But yeah, we pretty much always met, and things kept going well for that reason. And yeah, I mean, that's my sleepy recording for tonight. I don't know, maybe it's better for me to record before work, but I wanted to record something because, I'm online anyways, and I'm off tomorrow. But I do have to buy concert tickets tomorrow. But anyways, I'm gonna log off. So with that, thanks for listening.